is your top transportation goal for Waconia?
Well, actually, I have a couple of goals, but I'll focus on the main one. My main issue would be the Highway 5 corridor, which is a pretty heavy topic in a lot of people's minds. Highway 5 has been an issue for many years. Like I said before, I've been here since 1970. It was a two-lane highway, which it still is, with one stop sign at that time. It wasn't too many years ago. Actually, it's probably 10, 15 years ago. I had a friend of mine's daughter was killed on Highway 284 and Highway 5. So it's an ongoing issue. Highway 5 needs to be worked on. As the mayor mentioned in his statements, there are task force taking place. There's been studies done. In our planning meetings, MnDOT had said that they're doing their feasibility study, which is from, they're supposed to start in 2008, between 2008 and 2015. I would like to propose that's moved up much faster. It's a pivotal point for the city to encompass the downtown area as well as everything south of Highway 5. To make it a cohesive town, we need a safe passageway to and from the downtown area, whether that's an overpass, an underpass. Right now, there's one slated for Oak Avenue, which I was on that walkable community tour as well. I think we need another one around the Highway 284 and Highway 5 area. It's not in the plan right now, but I think we need to focus on that. We also need to bring Highway 5 is a huge issue with our businesses as well. We need the accessibility. We need the highway to flow through the town and to be accessible to everybody.
All right, thank you. Larry, same question.
Transportation's been an issue that's always been asked the candidates, I think, as far back as since I moved in 1999. It's been pretty painful lately, the last couple of years with all the construction, trying to get around. It's caused a lot of headaches. It's in the past right now, but if it comes up in the future, I think there should have been a little bit better thought of what we closed, what we opened, and when we did it. If you drive around Waconia, I mean, you know the bad intersections. We had a fatality on 284 that I know they're looking at extremely hard. We all saw it on TV, and they've taken some steps to improve that. I agree with one of the mayor candidates, Gannon DeLarkey, on 5 and Oak. We need to get an underground transportation or underground walkway at that location. It was last summer a child was hit on a bike at that location, and with the schools over there, with the community center over there, with the ice rink, with the fields, there's a lot of pedestrian transportation, and I think that should be addressed immediately.
All right, thank you. Myron, same question.
Ditto. Very similar responses to the others. In addition, I'd like to note that the Association of Carver County elected officials, which the mayor and I and the city administrator Susan Lawrence serve on, is also pushing very heavily for the Southwest transportation activities, which would lead to commuter buses, working on 5 as well. One of the things I personally worked on a couple of summers ago was when County 92 hit the new Highway 5, and when you're coming south on 92, you had to turn west and head towards town. A merge lane was added there without any signage to indicate to people what to do. And if you remember that was kind of a nasty period of time that no one knew what to do, particularly visitors from outside of town. With Susan's help, I found out who at MnDOT would be the right person to contact. And after phone calls and emails and some arm twisting, they sent a person out to study the situation. Lo and behold, it was just as we described. And now there's a painted arrow on that road that instructs through traffic that someone will be merging, and the merging traffic are where to go. So I think that was a successful effort in public safety.
All right, thank you. Jim, same question.
I'll start off with one word: safety. As I said in my opening statement, I've got 6 kids, and I'll remind you again, yes, that is a lot of kids. But in our community, in our subdivision of Willowbrook, we have no sidewalks, and that was a decision that was made when that subdivision was built. But sometimes kids have nowhere to ride their bikes or to rollerblade or ripstick or whatever wheeled vehicle they happen to be riding. The only place for it to go is in the street. And adults and teenagers alike seem to consider a lot of our roads to be their own personal drag strips. And it is an inevitability that we need to proactively prevent. We need to look at various traffic calming issues, and indeed that's one of the reasons I got into the race. On our street, again, people drive very, very fast, and I just cringe every time I hear the engines wind up and go tearing down the road. And part of that got me to go to Susan Arts and ask, what can we do to slow some of these people down before something happens? And one of those things that I've talked to a lot of you about as I've been going through the neighborhoods is the use of some traffic calming issues, mostly temporary speed bumps. We've always heard over time that you can't put a speed bump in because that'll ding up the snowplow blades, and that's true. But if we can put temporary speed bumps down, which have been shown to be relatively cost effective, we can begin curbing the flow of traffic, and we can begin inculcating into the people who are driving down our roads that they have to slow down. So safety is absolutely paramount in my opinion, because again, people are saying the same thing as I go door to door, that safety is absolutely top of their list because all of us have kids and we don't want to see what happened on 284 and 10 or in some of the other instances that we've heard about happen again. So that's my thought.
All right, thank you. Jerry?
Well, I have to agree with a lot of statements that have been said here. I attended just recently the Southwest Corridors meeting and was very impressed with what you had to say, Mark Schiffman. And I appreciate the representation that Waconia has. I think 5, it's imperative that we do something about it. Look at the amount of accidents. And that's how you get here to Waconia. Something has to happen with it. But the thing that's important to me in the transportation is a little different than that, and it has to do with the Southwest as well, and that's with Southwest Transit itself. I think we need to have transportation to our county seat. If we have some form of transportation bus line to the county seat in Chaska, they also have the ability then to do a transfer to go to downtown Minneapolis, to Eden Prairie, to St. Paul, to, you know, by using the bus system, you can get anywhere. But it would really help if we could at least get them to our county seat and have some type of transportation to that. So in addition to everything else, I have that little piece that I want to add to that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Joe, same question.
Highway 5, again, like everyone has said, needs some definite planning for the future. 2-lane road through town needs to probably go to 4, and that, I understand, is in the developmental stages. Who knows how long that will take to get here, but it is coming, hopefully. When I walk around the last 3 weekends, most of the people that I've talked to have talked about 284 and 10, and the fact that Highway 284 going out of town is 45 miles an hour. And right now, 10 is a major intersection, 284 and 10. So I know that we don't have control of that speed limit, but we can definitely put some pressure on people to get that speed limit lowered. It also needs to be lowered on 10 going to that intersection. Again, we don't have control of that intersection, but we can put pressure on people to make that change. All of what everyone else said, I would agree with. The walkability of Waconia needs to improve, and the safety for our children in the town has to improve.
All right, thank you. And again, Narvel Brooks' response to that question. The first step is to get Highway 5 improvements on the State Department of Transportation's to-do list. Even though 212 and County Road 10 provide an excellent transportation corridor for Waconia residents, Highway 5 must be improved from the standpoints of both congestion and public safety. Narvel Brooks.